Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Overlord. It is season 3 episode 6 and you know what to do as always. You want to see the reaction, just go down into my descriptions. You will find a link, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, well, we have a lot of new people to talk about, a lot of different reasons to do what they do, and possibly a bit of mystery as always. So let's go through them one by one, right? And I hope I did not miss too many of them, because there are really many, really many. So it seems we are starting with a new story arc in the Bahamut Empire. I hope it is called Bahamut and not Bahamut. And we have seen a bit about the Emperor, a bit about their head magicians, to say so, about their adventurers, got some minor information about their armies, and we had a little fallback to the Riastais kingdom as well. So first we've seen is Lord Foida Paradine, if I'm correct, who seems to be like the head of the Magician's Guild in the Empire. Pretty old, typical wizard looking, you know, grey hair, long white robe. Has a lot of people following him, so this is not a small magic guild. It is very well designed, very well working. There were many people training to be magicians, and he is, as it seems right now, researching undeads. They mentioned later on in the episode that there are some fields in the Empire, so I guess like an area, where there are undeads that these adventurers here on the site were fighting. So I guess they are researching it because they have to deal with undeads way more often than otherwhere. So you need information how they work and, as it seems, how to control them. So they had some normal skeletons, minor undeads in the end, kind of working the fields. So I guess they're trying to see if they can make them become like labor hands working undead, which shows you already that the Empire possibly would be willing to do that, which is not so much of a good thing, of a positive thing. Normally you would say using undeads is not a very positive thing. And they wanted them, that was a bit strange, so they had them there to see if corpses in their presence would turn into zombies. So it's like, I guess like if being undead would spread by itself. So if those would be raised by themselves just by the magic in the skeletons. And they had one undead knight, or was it a knight? Death Knight, right? Level 6 magic it was here, I think. And he tried to control him, but he wasn't able to. So this gives us already an idea about the power level that the Empire can offer, can achieve. And he said that if he would be able to control this major undead, let's call it that, he would be more powerful than Regret, which I think is the woman we have seen with the dragon in the end of season 2. So what we're talking about is a wizard who is about level 6 magic. Has abilities to reach level 6 magic right now. Which is impressive. But we have seen, I'm pretty sure already, some level 7 magic in this world. But it was mainly from artifacts. So this, I remember those bone dragons that one of the undead of the necromancers called were from this gemstone of undead power, and I think it was a level 7 spell there, and he was very proud of it, and well, let's just say he didn't survive it. So we are still in the same power level, which is okay. Still the question how powerful Regret is. But one might guess she would be possibly about level 7 then. This is some people we've seen. So he is directly working for neither directly working for the Emperor. He is part of the Empire, the whole wizard guild. It seems to be very large and powerful as well. We had some soldiers that were shown that are in the army itself, and Lord Mormon, so in the Alliance. Well, I wouldn't say he was impressed, but he very clearly stated that they are more effective and better than the ones they've seen so far. So I think they are better trained, better equipped, and in general of a little bit higher level than those from the rear size kingdom. Because they are not just, as he said, commoners drafted to the weapon, but they're instead a standing army, a real army, full-time warriors in the end. So they're a bit better in general, and possibly thus, as far as I know, the kingdom is large, the empire is larger. I guess they just have more of them. All in all, it sounded as though the empire is on a very good way in many ways. So the emperor took power from those who were corrupt, and he gave it to efficient people, to people who wanted to do something with it to better the empire. In general, it would sound very positive. Strange is that when you hear them talk later on, he is the Emperor Elnyx is very interested in the demon. He's very interested in the Adamant class adventurer, and I think it was partially because of his name, the Dark Knight, you know, Dark Lord, whatever he was called. And I'm pretty sure that researching the undead is something he knows as well. So he does positive things right now, but I kind of have to question his motives. I'm really not sure, especially because he seems not like a genuinely nice person. He seems to be someone who likes power. So it might very well be he did the right things in the past, but for his own benefits. So we will have to look. Right now, it's an interesting mix. We had this meeting, which I talked about. So there we had 4 warrior class, I think, knights, not adventurers, knights, who are like, I think something like a special task force, you would say, of the Emperor. I think we may see a little bit more about them in the future. I like that they are very different. So we have some who are like, I will go in full force, and the woman who was like, oh, well, I will win, and when I see I can't win, then I will run away. I mean, that is honest. I really liked it. And the silent one, so he definitely has a plus point, not talking too much. These were there. We had the magician there. We had the Emperor himself. So yeah, it's interesting to see what they are about and trying to do. There was something mentioned, however, and that is something I found a bit of suspicious and or interesting. So there was a war 200 years ago against the evil deities, so against evil gods. Seeing that in the tomb of Nazarick, Lord Ainz is kind of perceived as like a god. I ask myself if those evil gods might have been some of old adventurers from Yggdrasil. So, might be an option. And thus we know that the dragon, I think he mentioned, I'm not sure about the time, but it might very well be that he is from this time as well. So maybe the transport of Yggdrasil people and stuff was at this time, why ever it was delayed for the Tomb of Nazarick. Just saying, it might be we have something from then. And the Empire was founded by 13, which possibly are old players as well. So there are already many strings being shown, but they are very, very far away in time, in the past. Then there are the adventurers. So we have a different kind of adventurers guild here. There's no real adventurers guild. There are those who call themselves workers. In general, I would say it's still the same. So they work for money. It seems they do it by themselves. So there's no guild gathering information and gathering the adventurers. There is one, but it's not really much used, let's say so. So they are all more like free agents. And those who want to hire them just do it directly. I would normally say they are not as powerful as some of the adventurers we've seen in the Resize Kingdom, but then a girl who has level 3 magic is quite powerful. I mean, we know that from the past that level 3 is really high for human standards. However, her ability to look at people and see what magic level they are capable of, well, this will be funny. I've just lost something. 1 second. Here we go. So, I asked myself if she's able to look at Lord Heinz and see his power levels. Because then she possibly will just fall over. Which, by the way, if she could, would be an option to dismantle Lord Momon, the Dark Knight, because right now he acts as though he is a warrior, but if she could see it when looking at him, she would see right through and say, this is a level 10 caster, which is more than possible in this world. So then everything he did before to create this character, to hide stuff, and to be able to walk around the area and do a bit of reconnaissance himself, would be going out of the window. And when she, however, sees Heinz Olgone later on, she would be aware it is the same one, very likely. I mean, come on. How are the chances there are 2 level 10 casters? So I kind of think she will not be able to. I hope she's not, because he has some kind of passive effect that denies it. However, it still would go for Nabarel. So, and she's level 7, I think. So, just saying. We are in for a bit of a problem in the future. Not one they couldn't solve, you know. They could possibly kill all those adventurers in one swipe. Just, I don't think there's much of a problem for them for that. But yeah, as I said during the reaction, I kind of like the adventurers. So I kind of think they are dying. As did the last adventurers group. It's a thing they do with me. Especially that they give us background information on the girl. A lot of background information on the girl. About not so nice parents who are simply just stupid, you know, born into luxury and into being rich and thus behaving stupid. While she seems to be very focused and clear about what she wants, she tries to rescue her sisters. So she's in many ways, the small little bird you want to protect right now. And I'm kind of worried she will die. Which brings me to all of those adventurers and the Dark Knight appearing there. So Lord Momon appeared at the group that are heading out to search for his tomb. And I'm like, what? Why does he do it? I mean, either he heard about it, so he just wanted to join in and then solve the problem. Or he did it himself, you know? He, like, created this group. I mean, we still don't know who hired the people. It is said it is a count who has fallen from grace but offers a lot of money. It might be an option to get high-level corpses. So what if he said it? If he said, I will pay you money, and we're talking about 200 per head before. That's like nothing for him. So he goes in and he gives out this, takes most of the experienced adventurers from the Empire, and they all go out of the Empire to his tomb. They all die. They are all his now, revived. And the empire lost at least a bit of its forces, and possibly a valuable bit of its forces, without realizing it. I think it might be an option. It might be something he is doing. So we will see. I kind of hope, and that's my little aching heart that hopes, that while traveling with them, he may talk to some of them and maybe realize that they are not all in just for money. That there are some who are doing it for a greater good. In this case, rescuing the little sister and stuff like that. Or I think it is a Templar, something like that. Or maybe a priest, which is part of the group of, I wrote them down, of Foresight. Who really wants to help people. I mean, it's a problem we discussed in the past. The tomb is generally evil. So, we will see. Maybe he will spare some of them. I would like it. However, there's one he doesn't have to spare, and I'm pretty sure we all know who we are talking about, and I'm looking forward to an interesting sword fight. Which brings me to sword fights, which is my three Dooges. The three guys in the Real Size Kingdom. So we have Brain Stonerf, and he's getting better. I really like it. He's still in. He has a new focus, as we've seen in the last season. He really tries to improve his game. There's no jumping forward. So he's not really getting better in a massive amount. He is on his max and just is able to lift it up very tiny bits by bit. So he will never ever be an enemy for possibly anyone from the tomb. But I like the fact that he's still trying. I like the fact that they, in the series, show it and kind of honor it. We've seen the other two training as well. And that the whole family of around the king is still going on with their very own ways. So we have Princess Renna just sitting behind her brother, acting as though she's kind of innocent and I wouldn't say weak, but not the one in power. And he's in front and leading, which I didn't expect in the beginning. As you know, you've seen my discussions about him. But this is an interesting power couple they are now. And their big brother, who they are trying to get kind of rid of, is not the sharpest tool in the shed, you have to say. He is the strong guy, but not the clever guy. So he just waltzes in, he demands stuff from the king. He is his father, but it is the king, you know? And he's in many ways acting not very charismatic. He's like, it's my privilege stuff of thing. So if he continues acting like that, he will be very, very likely overthrown by the other two very soon, because he's not clever enough, he's not acting cautiously enough, and he's not even really aware that there is someone who is sawing away his throne. So, just saying. Yeah. Well, I could discuss about the family of the girl from this adventurer group here. So it is, I think it was Archer. Yeah, it's Archer, which is, by the way, an interesting name. Which is in German is the name for the thing that I think it is in English as well, the Ark, right? Okay, it's the German name for Ark, which is carrying in the Bible the animals away. So maybe a faith-related name. But I think it's very clear what this family is like. However, there's once again a little girl with blonde hair, and as we know now, Momonga kind of is protective of little girls. I mean, we've seen it in the past. He may act evil and bad and everything, but once one of those little girls with an open heart is able to reach him and to be joyful around him and running through his tomb and whatever, he's a little melting iceberg, you know? He may act cool and everything, but he's like, put her on the list. So, kind of hoping he will put them on the list as well. In the end, it might happen that the Tomb of Nazarick is just becoming a huge children's house. I mean, why not? And, oh well, so much about that. I look forward to where we are heading. What this scheme with the adventurers is about, the workers. Why he's luring them or he's letting them go. I'm pretty sure he will. Well, why should he let them find the tomb? It makes no sense. He tried to hide it so long and so good. He created another one, so possibly he will bring them to the wrong tomb, I guess. They created it in the last season, as far as I remember. Maybe that's it. And I'm looking forward to what the people around the Emperor are about to find out, because I think he's not completely aware of them yet. That's it for this time. I hope you liked. I did for sure. And until the next time, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.